It's our final day before we travel back tomorrow. Our final full day, I should say, before we travel back tomorrow. So we spent a really nice night last night at a campsite in Ballina called Belly Campsite. And we've come up to Downpatrick Head this morning to have a look at the sea stack and the blowhole. Dogs aren't allowed up at the sea stack, so Mark's just taken the dogs for a bit of a walk to stretch their legs before we leave them for a few minutes in the van and walk the 400 or so metres up from the car park to the stack. But let me just show you what it looks like behind me. It's absolutely beautiful. It's a bit wild this morning. I've got the microphone on, hope you can hear me. The wind is incredible. But just look at that view. Let me just do a quick panoramic for you. Here the gulls. The waves crashing against the rocks. It's actually quite warm. There you go. There's the man and his dogs. And his poo. The car park's pretty good. You can see there's some vans here anyway as well. I believe you can park here overnight if you want to. We did think about it, but then decided it might be a little bit windy. There's a great looking van there. I love that one. Sky's looking just a little bit black in places. Are you taking them down? Just be careful because I think it's quite rocky and it's very windy. I think it's a bit.
I got them pulling, the wind blowing.
Rugged, yeah.
Slippery grass, it's just too many.
Yeah, I wouldn't. But you're going to anyway, because you're a bugger. You see, he's sensible, he doesn't want to go. Do you want to leave him up here with me?
Smashing. Put my hat, they're losing that.
Downpatrick Head. And I feel a little bit close to the edge. I might just move.
Yeah.
Move on a wee bit. The colour of the water though. That cliff. Wow. Definitely worth the walk up to it. It's not far, it's uphill, so as long as you've got reasonable mobility, it shouldn't be a problem. No dogs allowed up here, and I can see why, actually, being so close to the cliffs. You would not want your dog to run over the edge. Just so that I can see why no dogs. You'd be devastated, wouldn't you, if your dog ran over the edge?
Yeah.
And I was also stupid enough to.
It might be that it just lands in the water, but then you have to try and get it.
No, look at that, Mark. Look at the ragged edges.
Depends where it ran off. Over there it wouldn't, but over here, yeah, all depends. But no, you would be devastated.
If you're scared of heights, this probably isn't for you.
Stunning, isn't it?
Yeah. It almost looks, from about where it narrows at the waist, it looks like a reflection of itself, but it's not. It actually goes all the way down, doesn't it? Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. So presumably when geological forces push all this land up, between that bit of rock which is similar to here, there's some sandstone between that has eroded away.
Yeah. I don't know. So, what else have we got around
So
here
there's
then?
that signage in the grass over here, EIRE, and then a date, I can't remember what date it was. It's over here.
I'm filming, but I've got Mark hanging on to me because I'm quite close to the edge. Bit breezy.
Very breezy, yeah.
See the van park. We can't see ours because it's behind a motorhome, but that's the car park just down there. So it's not a very long walk at all. Very definitely worth the walk. So you can't really see from ground level, but there's stones embedded in the ground that spell ERA, E-I-R-E, 64, I think it was, which was a World War II site. I'm assuming it was a way of letting planes know they were arriving in Ireland, but you can't really see it from the ground. That is braver than me. I don't think I'd get quite that close to the edge. Blowhole at Downpatrick. I don't know what we were expecting. I think we thought we were going to see some whooshing water spurting up, but we're not seeing any spurts.
Nice formation.
Yeah.
But not as...
Not dramatic. Not as dramatic as we were expecting. And obviously well cordoned off so you can't fall in. Still worth the walk up. Are we heading back? Mark? Huh? Are we heading back? Yeah. To the car? Yeah.
How are your shoes to grip on this?
We're about to find out.
If I'm sure, go in the longest stuff. You won't slide as much in the longest. Way around that direction if you feel yourself going.
At least I'm not in flip-flops this week. I'll be honest, I couldn't have done this 6 months ago. My knees were so sore. But I've been having some physio. And they're a lot better. Cheers, my dear. Starting to drizzle a bit, isn't it?
Yes, but not so bad as it was this morning. It's almost just like low cloud, whereas this morning it was a heavy drizzle.
Yes, that's true. Although my glasses have...
It was like a lemon drizzle.
My glasses have sort of got a bit of a drizzle on them. I can't actually see. But so mild. It's really weird. Looking at the weather, you'd think it would be wintry cold. And it's not, it's really mild. So it was a bit challenging to find somewhere to stop, but we're heading up to see something called the gazebo. Don't know if it's a folly.
I think it's a bit of a folly, yes.
But it's sort of a three-legged monument. Don't know what you call it. I'll tell you what, we'll go up, we'll have a look, film it, and we'll find out what it is. Okay, turns out it's got 4 legs, not 3. We just saw it a photo on Google Maps, and it looked like it had 3, but it didn't. It had 4. So the origins are a little bit unknown. They're not sure if it was built in the 1800s or the 1700s. And they don't really know what for. It could be a commemoration to somebody's poor wife. Apparently she had a bit of a hard time. Or it could be to cheer up the victims of the famine. Although I'm not sure if I was struggling. Let me try and see if I can get it in shot. Not sure if I was struggling in a famine, how interested I'd be in having a monument built. I'd probably rather just have food. It's actually quite small when you're up here, isn't it? You can see why not many people come up here though. It's quite hard to get to.
I want to use my drone, but it's a bit windy.
Yeah, too windy. Hiya. Let me show you the view from where we are. See right over the countryside. Very certain we can see the beach. So if I go a little bit further forward, I think that's Lackham Sands we can see over there in the distance. Again, it's not cold, but definitely breezy. So if you want to come and have a look at the gazebo, I would suggest you come off a road called the Molly. We parked the car at the bottom on the Molly, well just off the Molly, at a sort of pulling in place where there's plenty of space. But actually if you came up, and I think you can see behind me here, there is, if I just point, sort of back to front here. So here behind me, there is quite a big area of space that you could turn around in or you could park in. And the road is actually passable. We weren't sure, it's quite narrow. We thought it might be too muddy. And we haven't got 4-wheel drive, so rather than risk getting stuck, we just did the walk. But you could, if you didn't want to walk quite so far, I think it's about 400 or 500 metres, you could pull up onto this track and stop at that opening there. There you go, you can see where we parked there. Are you cleaning feet?
I'm just taking my shoes off. I wasn't going to bother because we're back out soon. I'm just going to leave them stood here.
Okay. In you go, Lulu. I'm glad I took the carpet up from this part of the van.
Yes.
Stay in, Lucy. Are you getting back out?
No.
Oh, what do I do with this? Can't see a thing out of my glasses, they're all misted up. As you can see, the weather has changed a little bit. We're at Ceide Fields, an Neolithic settlement that they've part excavated. Just looking out at the rocks, but you can't really see a lot because the weather's pretty bleak at the moment. But we've been and used the cafe. You can see at the steps there with the, it looks like an observatory at the top. That's the Ceide Fields Visitor Centre. We didn't do the actual centre itself. It's €5 to get in for an adult, but you can't take your dogs in, obviously. And the dogs have been in the van while we had a bite of lunch, so we're going to go and sort them out now. Mark wants to go and find Bellig Woods, and unless the weather changes, he's going to be on his own. I'm not walking in the woods in this. Limits in all things. Sadly, we've come to our very last day in Ireland. So we're heading from County Mayo, which we have absolutely adored. I loved every bit of County Mayo. We're just heading back to Belfast to get the ferry back to Birkenhead this evening. But we had to have a little stop off. We've come to Glencar Falls, which is right on the border between County Sligo and County Leitrim. And it's a short walk up to the falls. Mark's just walking the dogs at the minute because they can't go up to the falls for some reason. They don't allow dogs up there. And there's actually not a lot of places, although we're right around a big loch, there's not a lot of places to walk the dogs. So we've managed to find a little bit of field just to give them a leg stretch so we can leave them in the van comfortably. And we'll head on up to Glencar Falls. So the falls are right next to Glencar Lake. But you can't, doesn't look like you can walk around the lake, unfortunately. There is a car park, but it doesn't look like you can get access to walk around the lake. And actually the road isn't easy to walk on to take the dogs because there's no path. So bit tricky, but I'm sure it'd be lovely. We have had the most incredible time in County Mayo. The west coast of Ireland was exactly what we hoped it would be, and we just can't wait to come back again. A week was just nowhere near enough time. But we've got an overnight ferry to catch, so after a lovely meal in the Portside Inn at the docks in Belfast, we said goodnight to the dogs as we couldn't get a pet cabin this time, and we settled down for a pretty uneventful night. But Ireland, you did not disappoint, and in the words of Arnie, we'll be back.